O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This is...
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra. $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines. #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Furones, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 Acura MDX during our 17th anniversary sale.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen, epic deals await you at Toyota of Hollywood. You don't have to battle to get discounts of up to $4,500. Your chariot awaits. A Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our arena where everyone is victorious at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 17 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive a new Acura ZDX, $439 a month during our 17th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. Ownership, Management, Sponsors, or website.
It's the Big O Show with Orlando once again.
Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll and have a little fun on the program. Hope you all are doing well. We are rocking, baby. It is Wednesday, the day before we see a funeral. I don't know how you want to call it. You could look at it as a resurrection, right? Because as one pharaoh gets close to the sun and burns out, then a phoenix rises, and you never know. Anyway, welcome aboard on a Wednesday. It is September 17th, 2025. It is day number 18,874 since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And today is day number 86 straight days that Bitcoin is above. Where are we at? Do I have the hat there? Above 100K. Maybe it's somewhere else right now. But anyway, over 100K. So it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Day before my birthday, we get to 100. How, interesting, right? October 1st is day 101. I'm just saying, some of these things, there's reasons why it happens. I can't explain it. So, it is what it is. But anyway, I hope you are on the bandwagon. Not that it is financial advice. Yes, Big E Strong. I see that. Right there, baby. There we go. Get Big E Strong. What's wrong with you people? We got to celebrate and got to support our man. Get behind him. Get him through this fight. So let's stay Big E Strong here on the platform and everywhere else. And right there, you can, Sports Babe and Lou are doing a great job in getting those things out, and the money gets to support Big E. He's got a lot of, health issues he's got to take care of, and doctor's bills and stuff. So let's help out Big E. All right. That's actually the real fight that we need to, the Dolphins, they're on their own. We can actually help in this one. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you support. Thank you for putting that up there, Sean. Thank you, sir. Anyway, so hope you all are doing well out there. Hope you're hanging in there. Hope you're getting your Big E Strong belts out there. All right. Double up like I do. That way you can keep the Big E and the fins up, together. Yeah. Figured, right? I mean, you could just spin it around, so either way it's showing up, so little Big E Strong for you there. So make sure you do it and do it right. All right. Support one of our own. Support one of the best human beings on the planet. That's what we got to do. Anyway, welcome aboard. Let's get through it. David Furones will join us at 10:30. So we'll talk a little Dolphins with him. We've got stuff to talk about, obviously, here on the show. It was stuff that obviously gets people going, which is I find interesting. By the way, Sean, let's get a cigar ready here. Get ready to spark it up, dude. We got to give the chokers a little love. Last night, the old farts showed up there at Chase Stadium, and they defeated Seattle 3-1. That lineup looked pretty good, actually. It was like fun to watch. Messi did his. Messi's been off, dude. Like he scored yesterday, but he missed 2 other goals. It was like kind of weird. But anyway, whatever. But they won yesterday at least, and they had it going. I was worried about their legs in the second half a little bit there. Can they hang on? But they were able to, and that was good. So give Inter Miami a very nice victory cigar. I like it. The second best football club in town. We know which is the best football club in town. I mean, You know, only one professional football club in town makes it to the finals, and it's not Inter Miami. Only one football club right now is unbeaten, and it's not Inter Miami. So, you know, it's nice Inter Miami, but it's not Fort Lauderdale United. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see if you guys, you know, all that money and everything. You got to do a lot better than that to impress me. Anyway, but nice job. You got it done yesterday, okay? Which I kind of feared you were going to lose, you know, and you would lose in many different ways. You lost in the spitting contest, and then I thought you were going to lose in the football contest. But no, you won. So pretty impressive, I got to say. Pretty damn impressive. Anyway, don't forget, folks, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. And smashing that like button, man, whenever you're watching or listening, it is so important that you smash it. And the like button, too. We got 45 likes right now. Let's go. We already got 100 people watching, 112. Come on. Everybody hits right now. We instantly get over 100. Come on, let's go. Hit this and also get your Big E band. Did you like this, Sean? Huh? You like this taste here, huh? That's a nice twist. Right that dar there. That's good. So when we're in studio, it's a nice reminder to always be Big E strong here in studio. That gaming dude, thank you for the love on the super chat. Oh, doesn't it make more sense for Ross to make Frank Smith the interim? I don't think so, but that's up to you. I think it's Weaver. Weaver's the guy that, when I look at everything, that's the guy that I want. I want Frank Smith helping Bevel prepare the offense and make sure that they get their stuff straightened out. That's what I want. So I'd rather them just focus on the offense, and that's it. I don't want any more offensive people in the head coaching spot at this moment. I want them focusing on the offense, completely on the offense. And that's what I'd rather keep those guys there. So I don't want to lose McDaniel, and then you elevate Frank Smith, and you really weaken, the input in the offensive staff. I'd rather keep it strong that way, you know. And you already brought in extra on the other side on defense also, so you can balance it out by moving Weaver up, where he can work with the defensive guys during the week on setting the game plan, and then they can just call it on game day, and he can just be a head coach. So for me, I'd rather move on from McDaniel and put Weaver in place as my CEO type. That's kind of the way I look at it. But again, hey, listen, some people want to put Bevel as a head coach. Whatever, dude. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I'd rather kind of, bring some balance to that whole thing. What else do we have here? Who's number one in the Horn Dog? He says, I really feel like we will be pissed and embarrassed tomorrow night. Probably. I mean, they're the inferior team. So what? It's not like Miami's the better team. It's not like they ever win. They're 0-6, whatever, since 17, or some like that on the road over there. So, it's ridiculous. So yeah, they're gonna lose, and they're gonna lose gloriously, probably. I mean, that's what we have to prepare for. Of course, we can all wish and pray for the chance that they, somehow find a way to win. But you have the whole thing where people are absolutely torn. You know why? Because most people that I've talked to, they want to lose because they want to get rid of McDaniel. And some people will tell you if they win, then we're stuck with him for a little bit more, when eventually you're going to fire him anyway, which how could you argue with that logic? Like, you know, if you win tomorrow, it's not like you're going to turn the season around. It's just a fluke win. It's not like it's going to mean anything. And you'll go back to being a mediocre team again, and then you'll eventually fire him later on. So you're going to kind of extend the pain. That's the way a lot of people feel. That if you win, you're just extending the inevitable when it's all said and done. That's why, to me, I know I get it's the whole short week, and then you know, the upheaval and all that stuff. I would have gotten rid of him. I would have gotten rid of him this week already, you know, because Weaver would have gotten a mulligan anyway. It's a short week. You're going to Buffalo, whatever. And maybe, who knows, maybe the building celebrates that they get the guy out of the way, and who knows, dude. That's what I think. But you keep him around, you keep the malaise around. I just don't put it this way. The roster's not good enough to overcome his incompetence. That's kind of the way it is. So this is maybe the game that Dolphin fans are the most torn in decades. Think about it, because we're at a fork in the road. Most people already are off the Mike McDaniel bandwagon. Most people can't stand the guy already at this point. Nobody wants to hear him in a press conference. You know what I mean? It's like, I hate having to listen to those press conferences as my job, to be quite honest. It drives me crazy that I have to listen to that man, a guy that has no answers, no authority, no confidence, nothing there. There's just nothing there. It's a rudderless ship that's hanging out there on the podium. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is one that emotionally, I've never seen Dolphin fans more torn. I've seen Dolphin fans pissed at whatever coach has been in place, from Gase to Cameron to whatever, and they can't wait to fire him, and they can't wait for him to go and all of that. But because of everything that's gone on, yeah, this is one that it gets people, you know, really, really twisted up, because a couple of my friends were like, if they win, you know, my God, this is terrible. They cannot win. They have to lose so they can get rid of them. And I mean, I'm not that worried, because Canada's central bank, by the way, just cut rates, quarter point. We will be doing that soon now. I'm not that worried about it, because I just don't think that the roster can overcome what it needs to overcome tomorrow night. You know, it's just really, really, they're really behind the eight ball here. They're not the better team, and they're not as good as they were last year. And they gave them a hell of a game last year. You know, last year, TUA played well. The team played well. They just weren't good enough to finish it off. But they were right there in the mix last year. I don't think that's going to happen this year, unfortunately. We'll see. We'll see. I know this, and it's twisted. I will not be sitting there rooting for them to lose. I know they'll lose. I expect them to lose. So I'm prepared for it. I'm prepared for this season, so I'm good. But I won't sit there and wish for them to lose. I can't do that, dude. I can't do that. You know, I think Inter Miami everything will end badly for them too. But you think I'm sitting there last night hoping that they lose? No, dude. I was actually very entertained with that lineup. It was like, wow, you know, they look better now with the less roster, you know. So it's just one of those things. But I do understand how torn the Dolphin fan base is, because deep down inside, you know, we're not going anywhere. So it all depends on how you feel about this. Do you still want to let McDaniel see it out? Because I've seen that too. People have reached out to me. No, I think they should just let it play out and this and that. And then some people think it's better to let it play out because you might get the higher pick. That if you put Weaver in, you might win an extra game or two, and it might ruin what could be a top 5 pick if you keep McDaniel in. It's interesting. I don't know what's going to work out for us. When we have the number 1 pick, we end up with Jake Long, which, God bless him, hell of a player, but you wanted a quarterback. It's kind of sucks. So it's a weird thing, man. It's just it really is an absolutely weird thing and weird dynamic that we're all stuck in this year. I mean, we've been stuck in some kind of mediocre cyclone for 45 years, but overall, this is like really odd. And it's just a really and it pits us against each other, which sucks. You know what I'm saying? It's just terrible. Terrible. Anyway, so we'll see what happens, Horn Dog. Jeff in Long Island says, I have no issue with TUA fans like Hollywood Joe Rose does because we suck when it's a non-issue. I know that those guys aren't TUA guys, so yeah, I get that. Brian Looper is in. Jake from Palatown. Stony Stanley in. Good morning to you, sir. Cosa Nostra. Jay Slim. Alejandro Molinar. We'll watch because I've been a fan since 72 when I was a kid. Too long for plays to get in like it were post-game press conference. Yeah. Yep. Alexis Palenzuela. Brian Radke. Steven Gonzalez says, safe to say McDaniel gets fired tomorrow and Greer keeps his job. We would have to blame McKenzie. Right now, Steven, everybody gets the blame. Nobody's safe. Even if you don't expect Greer to get fired tomorrow because they don't make personnel decisions usually in the middle of a season. So it'll just be probably McDaniel to be fired either tomorrow night or Friday morning, one of the two. Maybe it'll be morning because that's what they did with Flo. They waited for the morning. And so maybe that's what they'll do. They'll fly back and then have the meeting in the morning and then make the announcement and yada, 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 and move on for the next 11 days. And then we can all talk about it. So we'll see. But that still means nobody's safe. And right now nothing's working. So everybody's, getting the finger pointed at from the owner all the way down. Front office, coaches, TUA, players, everybody gets blamed now. When nothing works, everybody gets the blame. When nothing works, Shula got the blame. So if Shula's, if he's not above getting the blame, who the hell is everybody else? You know what I mean? Crypto Fins is smashing it and the like button too. Appreciate it. We're only at 77 likes. We still haven't gotten over 100. We got 181 watching. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Big Johnson is in. Says he's I'm taking all of the Bills' offensive player props over. Giovanni in, Corso, Skyler, John Padilla, Justin. What kind of odds would you need to take the Dolphins over the Bills? Insane ones that it's a waste of money. Just buy a little Bitcoin instead, dude. Just buy a little Bitcoin. That's all. What else? Christian DiMartino, Emilio Narvez, R. Eric. Let's see. NorCal says, I got my Big E Strong band on now. We push it in for the gym for these days. That's it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for keeping it locked. Luis Notare, what's the smart bet for Thursday night, Big O? Smart bet, lay the 12. Lay the 12. Money line is minus 850, so, but lay the 12. They'll beat them by 2 touchdowns. Easy. Lay the 12. That's what I would do. Or wait for live and hope that Miami gets the coin flip. They get they get the possession, the first possession, because Buffalo probably defer. And then you hope that they go and score 3 or 7, and then that'll lower the 12. And it'll lower it to, whatever, 10, 9, 8, 7, and then just lay, and then you lay it on Buffalo. That's the other way you can do it. You wait for the coin toss. You find out if Miami's going to receive. Don't lay the 12 yet. You don't need to. The 12 will be there for you anyway. That's the divider. That's where the money is anyway. So hang in there. Wait for Miami. Wait for the coin toss. If Miami's receiving, you definitely don't lay the bet. If Buffalo is receiving, you lay the 12 right there and then, because if Buffalo just takes it down the field, it goes up to, 15 and 16, and then it's even more, and then it becomes, unless you want to go the other way and then hope that Buffalo scores and it goes up to 15, 17, then you take the Dolphins plus 15, 17, and you hang on for dear life, and you hope that which that might be a play also to play it that way. But best yet, if you don't like the 12, wait for kickoff and then take advantage of the live line. That would be my educated suggestion. Okay. What else do we have here? Justin is in with Big E. Damn right. We got to support our guy. Eric says, do you mind sharing some of your personal Don Shula memories? I mean, I don't know. What are we talking about? Are you talking about as a fan? Are you talking about like the 5 years, I believe, of 91 to 95? I think I covered him because those were my first few years. I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what kind of memories we're talking about. So I can share some memories on certain things, but I need to know exactly what it is that you want me to, if there's something specific, a time, a game, a player, or something, and maybe I might have something on that. I hope to have something on that. I might let you down. Ocala Joe in the house says, I agree, a funeral followed by a celebration of getting rid of an sickness. Ray Varnegas, I'm hoping we are one day closer to Mike and Chris being gone. Let the cleanse begin. Ray, just prepare for Mike. I don't think the Chris thing will happen. Okay? If anything, you guys can get your Chris wish. It'll be at the end of the year. Okay? That's usually when they do the personnel stuff in the offseason. James Vivinetti, One-Eyed Jack, Magic Mark, Aaron Hernandez, Nico Jones says Dolphins will keep the game within 10 points tomorrow, and Ross will keep McD around thinking the team is good. LOL. Aren't you afraid of that? Brian Landis, Robbie Ralph, Big O, how much of an ass beating are the Dolphins going to have to take on Thursday for them to clean house? I think they clean house. I think they fire McDaniel tomorrow regardless. He loses, period. They fire him. That's it. I think if he wins, then maybe he staves it off, obviously. You can't fire him after a Buffalo win. But I think he gets fired. It doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. Okay? You're 0-3. You're not going anywhere. And you didn't get anywhere last year, and you played Buffalo tough in Buffalo. What did that mean for the season overall? Nothing. It meant nothing whatsoever. So playing a close game tomorrow means nothing at all for him. you know. So what else do we have? Sam the man, if the Dolphins win tomorrow, is Mike McDaniel finishing the season? I don't think he'll finish the season, but it'll stave it off like we've talked about. Adolfo says, worst case scenario, way down the line, if Anthony W. does not work out, who will ideally coach, assuming that we can get it? I don't know. I don't play that stupid game, dude. There's no substance right now. I don't know who's available. I don't know what coordinator had a great year or has had a couple great years now, who had a bad year, who could have been considered. We got a whole season to play out, dude. We don't know where the Dolphins will end at the end of the season. What teams around the NFL will also need coaches. Are they in better positions than we are, in more attractive places? See, that's the problem, Adolfo. There's too much. You guys waste your time with hypotheticals. And I get it, dude. At QAM and many stations across the country and national and all that, they don't have the skill set to actually do talk radio about what's actually going on. So they got to play stupid games and then play silly hypotheticals that none of them ever pan out. Ever. None of them. So I don't play the hypothetical game here. When they fire people and when they're ready to hire them, we'll find out who are the real candidates available, and then we can make an educated assumption of what we want and who's available and all that. Now you're playing with yourself. And apparently a lot of you like to play with yourselves. You should find a partner. James Vivinetti is in the house. Magic Mark. Defense will get better. They're all new, but the offense is in the fourth year. Like I said yesterday, the defense will get better, but by the time it does, it'll be too late. The season's over. And what you needed was an offense to help carry the defense early on that has no secondary, young defensive tackles. So there's a lot of adjustments. And let's be quite honest, the linebackers for the Miami Dolphins aren't very good in coverage. So that's another deficiency that they have. What else do we have? Daniel is in. Ty in the Bronx. Jake from Palatown. You are right. You wanted him to prove us wrong, and he hasn't. We lose, and he gets fired. And now we rip the Band-Aid off. We win. We're definitely going to be keeping it longer than needed. Exactly. That's it. Let's see. Ray Grullon, howdy to you, sir. Don't understand the fans wanting Bevel as the interim. He is only cut out to be an offensive coordinator. He did not do much when he was an interim coach with the Jags years back. Ray, that's a great point, right? But the better point is we're in a position right now where we have a guy that can't handle offensive coordinator and head coach. So now we're going to move Bevel, and then what's he going to do in the middle of a game? So Frank Smith is going to call a game, and Bevel's just going to be a head coach. Weakens the offense. I let those guys, let Bevel call the offense, let Frank Smith work with him, and then let Weaver be the CEO. To me, that's kind of the way you should go, you know. All right, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. Still got 97 likes. We're at 216 watching. Come on, man. More than double. Smash, smash. Audio, video, watching anytime, listening. Please smash the like button. Christian DiMartino, thank you for the love on Venmo. He says, everyone needs to realize this season is done. We're not winning tomorrow. Get a real coach that can support Tua, keep our running backs, trade Waddle and Tyreek, trim the fat, get some young players, and reset the attitude of the team. Interesting on the trade Waddle front, too. I mean, Tyreek can be traded, but only at the deadline. That's when he probably will be traded. All right. Let's do it. Let's talk a little Dolphins with the one and only David Furones in our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing better than the Dolphins. I've been telling people, anyone who asked me this week. So getting ready to head out to Buffalo later today, get a little Thursday night action, and we'll see what we're covering after that. It could be franchise ultra.
I've done better than the Dolphins for 45 years, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, good. For me, fewer years than that, but
basically, unless you're dead, basically we're all better than the Dolphins. I mean, unless we croak, we're basically way better, more productive. We win every day because we're here and we're getting it done. The Dolphins never get it done. So, we're way better than the Dolphins. That's a low bar, actually. You know what I mean? We want to strive to be the Panthers.
Yeah.
I'm
That's what I got to go for here.
I'm not winning championships in my own, in my own existence. But that's what I got to strive to be. But the Dolphins, oh, please.
Well, that's why it was so refreshing for me this summer to get to cover the Stanley Cup, even travel. I mean, you had me on the show the day I was traveling to Edmonton for Game 5. So, get that taste, get that experience because it's a lot of doom and gloom covering the Dolphins.
It is, unfortunately. All right, so injury-wise, obviously Waller is out, and no matter what McD says. What else do you think happens tomorrow?
Yeah, well, interesting. Right as I was joining, some news for Buffalo as it was revealed Ed Oliver and Matt Milano will be out. So two key defenders, veteran, strong defenders for the Bills, and linebacker Matt Milano, defensive tackle Ed Oliver. So it didn't seem like they were trending to play anyway because they weren't practicing on the short week. So there is that. So on the Dolphins side, I think Aaron Brewer's going to play through that hip injury that popped up. Same with Malik Washington. That popped up this week, the thumb injury. Jalen Waddle, he surfaced on Tuesday on the injury report, again with that shoulder, but nothing that kept him off the field Sunday. So I would expect he's good unless it's something that was re-aggravated in Tuesday's practice, which would have happened after we spoke to everyone. So I guess today's injury report will be telling if there's something to be concerned about there. What else? Darren Waller. I obviously wouldn't see that again on the short week. Melifonwu probably going to be out with that calf. He was just limping off on the kick return touchdown when he whatever happened to it, pulled it, whatever it was on that play. So on a short week, you don't come back from a soft tissue injury like that. So I think I've covered a lot. Jalen Wright maybe because Mike McDaniel said he was close to playing on Sunday. So even though he was listed as doubtful, that he was closer than that. So we'll see. It is a short week though, and we know the Dolphins haven't been using Ollie Gordon as a RB2. So if Jalen Wright were to be back, maybe that's someone who Mike and Frank Smith and the rest of the offensive crew trusts more to do the things, even though, Ollie Gordon in his limited opportunities has looked quite all right.
Yeah. But then again, it's, you tweeted it out yesterday, right? The Dolphins are fourth in rushing average, but last in attempts. And I retweeted and just put broken record on it because that's who he is. And, it's just, there's always a failure. And we remember the Buffalo game or the Green Bay game, or there are certain games that the offense is humming, bro. Humming. Like the guys are blocking, running backs are finding giant holes, they're popping. And then all of a sudden he just wants to start getting cute. and start to pass and abandon it. And the run game is a rhythm thing. And he is, he is like, he's the ultimate cock blocker. He's the guy that when you went out on, clubbing and all that kind of stuff, and, he's not the guy you wanted on your wing, because he's the guy that was just going to ruin everything for you. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. And no iba a tener la muela. He wasn't going to be able to, win the girls over and all that. And one way or the other. And they're going to look at him. They're going to go, you, my friend doesn't like your friend. We'll see you later. That kind of stuff. And so this is the ultimate guy that he kills the rhythm of everything. This is the guy that gets Tyler Huntley, Snoop Huntley, and thinks he can run to a system. Doesn't change it till the fourth start is when he starts to implement more running, because it's what Snoop should be doing. We're talking about. And this is why when you put that stat out, you have the fourth best average, and you just commit to the damn run, bro. And the examples are there. It's just stupid.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I mean, a lot of how Mike McDaniel thinks is dependent on the looks that he's getting from the defense, right? So he's kind of like reactionary in that way, instead of him dictating to the defense so that the defense then has to adjust to him. But it's still mind-boggling, because it's so much of that deep the cover two, with the linebackers even getting depth, like Tua was breaking down yesterday, where it's like they're giving everything underneath. Now, I know that's in the passing game, so a good way to get defenses out of the looks that they're giving the Dolphins passing offense is an effective ground game, and one that you consistently stick to. I mean, to an extent, I understand to an extent only the week one game, because the score was getting out of reach. There were still more opportunities to run. But week two,
out of reach at 17-0.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
only a little bit.
If you have another thing that you tweeted out, well, they, a plethora of all kinds of things that they needed, and then I retweeted and I said the one thing they don't have is an attitude and a determination to have a running game. And that's what other teams have, whether you like the Packers or not, whether you're facing them with Aaron Rodgers or with Brett Favre or with Jordan Love, dude, you're going to have to deal with the fucking running game. Yeah. Okay. They're all going to run on you. It doesn't matter. And we're talking about multiple coaches, multiple GMs, multiple quarterbacks, but it is the DNA of that team. They will run the football. The San Francisco 49ers, dating back all the way to the Joe Montana days, okay? They always ran the ball, besides being that West Coast style and all that other stuff. You have to have an attitude, bro. When Seattle was Seattle, the second you went Mike McDaniel, you lost your chance to win that second championship. You know what I mean? It's really simple. And sometimes when Bob Greasy wins a Super Bowl and he throws 7 times, that's all you need to know. When Peyton Manning can win a Super Bowl 8 years ago, 9 years ago, whatever it was, with no arm, that's all you need to know. When the guy that won last year throws for 200 yards and only has to make a couple of throws, that's all you need to know, dude. Run the goddamn ball.
Yeah. And there's value in that. There's value in, even if it's not the ideal look sometimes, sticking with the run, just letting them know we're going to be here playing smash mouth football against you for 4 quarters. And the point I was getting to was that, okay, you maybe you had that excuse week 1 against Indianapolis. We both agree, no, they still could have run the ball more. But week 2 against the Patriots, there was no reason to get away from the run game that much. It was 12-0 early, but you came back and you were playing with the lead, and then it was a back-and-forth game for the final 3 quarters. So you can't use that alibi for this Patriots game.
No, you're just a bad coach. You're just a bad coach. That's all it is. You're a bad coach. There's no other way to phrase it. You're a bad coach. because you can't. You're 4 years in, and you still can't line up people. They still don't know. Oh, we met this week. That doesn't mean shit, bro. You've been doing this for 4 years. You have no credibility whatsoever. It's a fucking clown show. 4 years in. That's so fireable. It should not have happened in the second year, David. The first year, I'm going to give you a mulligan for all kinds of stuff. I get it. Your dumbass forgot the down against Buffalo in a playoff game. Bro, we had to even swallow that is pretty tough because I've never seen that in my life, and I'm old. So, we're in year 4, and you still can't line up right. Come on.
That's the frustrating thing. It's that it's year 4, week 2. You're struggling to get all these different personnel groupings in. We're hearing from inside it's that they have new personnel that they've tried to implement, and that was part of the reason for some miscommunications. But it's just, how does that and how do you fix it? Here's the bigger question: is if you're meeting this week on a short week, you have 3 days in between the games, and you get most of Thursday too. So all right, we'll say 4: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and most of Thursday. So how are you fixing that in that amount of time when you've had all off season plus 3 previous years? I'm gonna be looking for that. I actually, because so many times during games, I'm writing in between plays, or I'm like looking at a replay, and then I got to refocus once the next snap happens. So I don't see a lot of the, I'll be honest, I missed a lot of the in between snaps. Personnel groupings coming on and off the field, how they're communicating. I want to see if I find moments where I can just stop writing something and just watch how they communicate on the sideline to the huddle, and players coming on and off, and just see that. I mean, I get to see it later, but I want to see that during the game and what this looks like, what they're saying, that they're streamlining communication better.
Isn't it funny that you could probably do your job better at home on the television? Freezing it, rewinding, this, that. There's commercials and all that, so you really won't lose much time. You can I'm
streaming the game too. So I get the
you don't have but you don't have the same amount of time because you're in the middle of the whole action. They're live. Yeah, it just doesn't give. Whereas if you were at home, you're on your own pace. You know what I mean? Whereas there, you're trapped in the middle of the whole thing and everybody else, and you're trying to catch up with everybody else. It's tough. It doesn't really allow you to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? In the environment.
There you go. Don't get me started, especially since everything is streamed, so everyone who's working from home can get it in real time. I gotta be. And I'm the one that's there asking the questions. So the only reason anyone else who writes articles has any of the content is A, because I'm there to ask questions, and B, because it's being streamed in real time so that they can use it in a more comfortable work setting. Don't get me started on this, big.
I know.
But I like traveling. I like traveling to the games, being there, getting my hotel and airline points, and being on site, being there, being present.
Yeah, no, definitely, dude. You're young. Don't worry about it. Another 15. Another 15, you'll go, I'm kind of good with that traveling stuff. Yeah, I've done it enough, that kind of stuff.
The times I have covered from home, boy, I realize how comfortable it is.
Yeah. I've had that luxury now for many years now, and it's just it really allows you to do a lot more. All right. Is there any doubt in your mind that when they lose on Thursday, this is the last game that Mike McDaniel coaches? Or do you think there's still a chance that he is there as the coach moving forward?
No, it's got to be a blowout victory, like one where you just see it is something like the Colts loss or worse. If it's a little bit better, I would maybe only give them or give Mike a chance, because it is the Buffalo Bills on a short week, and that's a Super Bowl champion caliber, contender type of team. Not the Colts, which are a mediocre team that maybe is upstart, maybe could do some things this year. We'll see. But yeah, if it's just you're 0-3 and the division rival who you have invested so much to try to catch in the AFC East, and even had a 3-game lead in 2023 with 5 weeks remaining, but blew that. And you are just so far behind them.
Played well last year.
Oh yeah,
in Buffalo, they had
thing.
they had a chance, overall.
That's the thing. That's why if they're competitive in this game, I don't see Mike McDaniel getting fired after a 3rd game, because it is very rare for a coach to be fired that early. It hasn't been since 2000. Actually, I looked this up, and I'm putting out this stat here on this program before I write it up in the advance, my preview I'm writing. But in the event it occurs, it would be since 2000. The Cincinnati Bengals, they fired their coach. And I'm blanking on the name right now, but I'm sure you know it more than I do because you were.
What year was it again?
2000. And I have it somewhere here too. But he was fired 3 weeks in. And yeah, that would be the last time. It would be after 3 games that an NFL coach was fired. So the last one before that was 1982, the Seahawks, Patera. With them. So it's very rare. There's been instances of 4 games, like Joe Philbin was one of those.
Marvin Lewis then, right? That was before Marvin Lewis.
Yes, before Marvin Lewis, for sure.
So was that
was
that the guy that was in Arizona and in Washington?
Bruce Coslett.
Bruce Coslett. He was also with the Jets. Bruce Coslett. I remember.
Dick LeBeau came in after.
Yeah, he was an offensive line coach, I think, Bruce Coslett or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he was 0-3 when he was fired in 2000, or resigned. It says here, but either way.
All right. So I think he's gone if they lose. I think he's only
if they lose. Wow.
I think they only save him if he wins. I think if they lose, last year you played a great game, and what did it mean for your season? You didn't really get anywhere, anyways. It's not like you made the playoffs. So to me, a close game means nothing. It just means that the players are overcoming the guy that's the head coach pretty much. I don't know if I could actually credit, McDaniel unless you win, because, the close but no cigar thing, how many times are you going to give people the benefit of the doubt for that? You know what I mean? You already extended this guy when he hadn't accomplished anything. You did the same thing with Philbin when he hadn't accomplished anything. You know what I mean? You won a meaningless Minnesota game, and you extended him. So I can see if the win, it does stave it off. I think if you lose, you're 0-3. I think the spirit of that locker room is dead at that point. Because there's no way you're coming back from 0-3. You're not that good. This is not like the Chiefs that, okay, they're 0-2 right now, bro, but they are the champions. They've won a bunch of championships. They've been in the championship game. You know what? They deserve the benefit of the doubt. The Dolphins don't have the benefit of anybody's doubt. You know what I mean? So I have a strong belief he's gone when they lose tomorrow night.
And Big O, it all comes down.
Why would you keep him around? What is the positives of keeping Mike McDaniel around after tomorrow night? What is it? Please tell me that.
Well, see, here's the thing: is that the whole thing comes down to what one person is feeling between very late Thursday night and early Friday morning. It's how does Stephen Ross feel? And I'm wondering, like, if he has a number. If he has a number of how many they lose by against Buffalo, like how embarrassing this loss is for him to pull that trigger. I feel like if they're right in there, then you're almost like, because think about last year when they were close and it was that last second field goal that beat them. Then they started a win streak after that, and it's much earlier in the season this year. So that's why I would think it would be too early in the season if they show some signs of, hey, wait a minute, they went into Buffalo on a short week and we're right there with them. But if it's a blowout, like I think back to Al Golden, it was a 58-0 loss to Clemson. Like that one, that day, it was just clear. The program had to move on. There was just no chance. And it was a similar situation. Fans were flying banners overhead. Actually, it took a lot longer. It took a lot more banners before Al Golden finally got axed, from what I remember. But in this situation, it's been one time just last week. But I think there's certain ways to lose where it's just clear for it to happen this early, but for it to happen this early, it's got to be something like that. Especially since you have the Jets at home on a Monday night, you play Carolina, you play Cleveland in October. I think you would give them at least a few more weeks if they show some, and maybe just one more week. I mean, because then if they lose to the Jets on Monday night, then you gotta just cut it loose. It's 0-4 at that point, and you've lost to all 3 divisional opponents. But I think for it to happen after this game, it's got to be a blowout, very convincing victory where the team is just, again, uninspired.
All right, I'm going to give you an angle that I think you might be missing, okay, and why I think it's going to happen. Okay? You're Chris Greer. You're the other guy on the firing line. You're the other guy with the heat. You have brought in a lot of talent. This guy has failed to achieve what he's supposed to every year based on the talent you've given him. Okay? Based on the talent you've given him, you couldn't even win the first 2 games. So you've already underachieved with the talent I gave you as a general manager. Correct? Last year, he should have won at least 3 to 5 more games with the talent he was given. Correct?
Yeah.
Right? And I could do more of that in the other years, in the first couple of years too. Okay. I need to save my job. This moron ain't saving my job. Well, I got 11 days now. I fire him. I put Weaver in charge. I put Bevel to run the offense. I put what's it called? I'm forgetting the guy's name now for the defense. One of the assistant coaches.
You say Joe Barry, the linebackers coach who has defensive coordinator experience?
No, the other guy that was brought in.
Sorry. Wait, recap the ones you've said already.
Bevel will be my offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Weaver becomes my head coach, my CEO. The guy that's next, Slowick will run my defense. Okay.
Oh, Ryan Slowick, not Bobby Slowick.
No, right. Whatever. Just
the defensive one. Okay.
Yeah. Right. The defensive Slowick to run my defense. And then this way, if I can actually turn things around, the morale, the play, the balance, all of a sudden now I get my coach to be a head coach, and my offensive coordinator, Darrell Bevel, who has experience, can just be an offensive coordinator. Instead of what we're doing now, that your team's not getting anywhere because the guy's a head coach and an offensive coordinator, and he can't do either job. So that's really bad. So Weaver can be more the CEO, handle the media, handle players, make those main decisions in the tight games. But Slowick and Weaver can prepare the defense all week long, and then Slowick can coach it during the game. Weaver can just run the game the way it is, and then Bevel will run the offense along with Frank Smith. Boom. I got more balance. I'm good. Now, if I can, the next 14 games, get a winning record and get things going and all that, I can turn to my owner and say, we have our guy. Now we have our guy. We have extra picks. We saved a lot of money this year. We can move forward. Now we got our guy. We got continuity, really feel good. And then the owner will feel good, and you got a chance to save your ass. If you keep Mike McDaniel in place after tomorrow night, you are guaranteeing your guillotine at the end of the season when they go to the draft. And as you know, that personnel decisions are made in May, not now. So they'll bring in a new personnel guy, they'll keep him around, and then they'll let him go, or they'll elevate him to another position or whatever, but he will lose that spot, okay, one way or the other, or at least he has a chance of losing it. Maybe if he didn't hire McDaniel, maybe he's saved in that, because that's one thing that I've always wondered. Is McDaniel his real hire, or because in the offseason when he told you guys, sometimes I listen to my coaches too much, bro, that's like a sign. And this offseason, he did an opposite of a McDaniel offseason. He drafted a whole bunch of physical, fat guys, big running backs, big receivers. He did everything big, which is not what McDaniel likes. He's Mr. Napoleon. That's why he gave the little receiver running back carries instead of his big running back, So I think the front office needs to make this to help them in their position and where they're at. Because if you keep McDaniel around, the Titanic just continues to sink.
Yeah, I hear you as far as just getting yourself to that point of once you move on, as it looks apparent right now, that's just what you have to do. It's just so early in a season for it to happen. I mean, I just gave you how unprecedented it is. So that's the only reason why I feel like it's got to be very convincing for it to happen today, or I mean Friday or late Thursday night, however it goes down.
Friday morning. It'll be Friday morning, like they did.
Right.
Well, they waited the morning after they made the announcement. They'll do the same thing.
Yeah. But then looking forward to. I mean, yeah, I would have been on board with you for so long on Anthony Weaver being the interim, but I'm looking at that defense, and it has not looked good on his end. I know he doesn't have a secondary, but has he made a push for some marquee cornerback signings or an earlier draft pick used on a corner? So
Doggy,
I think that
Doggy, they weren't spending big money. That had nothing.
No,
to do
I know, but
don't
but
blame.
there's still a lot of corners you could have had earlier.
That defense will get better as the year goes on. The problem is your season's over by then. But if you expected that defense to be good with no secondary, linebackers that can't cover, and 3 young defensive tackles, bro, there were going to be some serious growing pains for the first half of the season. I bet you the defense plays better in the second half of the season. But unfortunately, since your offense can't carry you, which is the strength of your team, well, there's no balance, unfortunately. So, it is what it is. Since we don't want to run the ball, we'll put our defense out there more and more and more, because that makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, but I also just don't know what Weaver's like in terms of the game management in games, because he's never done that. So he's done the defensive coordinator thing, and then right now I'm questioning his defense in its own right. But Darrell Bevell, I'm just saying, because look, Weaver would still be my top choice for the head man that he presents himself as, how he can run about like the CEO of an organization, like you said, how he presents himself both to the team and also in the media setting. I feel like he's a good face of an organization in all regards. But then now Darrell Bevell isn't to that level on those fronts, but he's done the interim head coach thing before. I think he would probably be more inclined in game management things. You could keep some continuity in that. Then if he's your interim, then he's also your play caller like Mike McDaniel was. So it's just kind of, you keep things the same. Weaver has the same responsibilities. And then you also still have Bobby Slowick, who has also done the OC thing to be the quarterback's coach, which Bevell is now, as he's senior pass.
Oop. I think he's getting a call. You're getting a call, right? Go ahead. There we go. That's usually what happens when they get a call. That's what it is. All right, let's do it. Let's let him go, because he's got to do something at 11. So it's good. It's good. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Just tell him that I know he's got to do something at 11. Tell him to go. Welton Rayom, a proud sponsor of our program. Give him a ring, 954-966-4646. We're still in hurricane season. Hopefully we don't get any, but still you get those thunderstorms, those showers, all of that. And at any time that could cause a problem, a leak in the roof. You know that you could cause roof damage with 40-mile-an-hour winds and up. So if you start seeing any spots on your roof, you call Welton Rayom. They send their adjusters. Their adjusters look over the damage, and then they tell you if you have a case, and maybe they can get you a new roof. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. So many of our listeners have used them for now 5+ years. Please call them. They've been in business for over 20 years, man. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayon Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayon, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayon can help.
All right. All right. Anyway, appreciate you all out there. Wait a minute. You good? Do you want to finish? Bring him on so he can finish the point. If you want, let him finish the point because I know he's got to go, but I don't want to step on it. Go ahead, David. You there? Go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry. I got a couple extra minutes on the call that I was going to be on. I could tell we were going a little longer. So I tried to reach out to them, but they called me anyway, so it logged me off. What was I saying?
No, it was about you rather have Bevel, I guess, in charge. To me, that's what we have. So I'd rather leave him focus on the offense completely. That's why.
Just that it's at least a conversation to be had. I would have been surefire on the Anthony Weaver front, but Bevel has done this before. Twice has been an interim coach. I know that's something he still is aspiring to, and he's got so many years of offensive coordinator experience, play calling experience. So
can I ask you something, because there's a little bit too much panic, and I'm going to blame more the media. Fans are fans, so for them to react on the Weaver thing, I find it, it's fans. When I see media like you and other guys, I find it absolutely insane. Let me ask you something. Is the guy in Philadelphia that we had here pretty good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? He's pretty good?
Yeah, very good, very good.
Okay. Did he have better defensive players when he was here 2 years ago?
Yeah, overall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you remember the first month of the season with him?
Ooh. Yeah, that 48-20 loss to Buffalo, coming off the 70-20 win.
See, Papa.
The Chargers game. Mm-hmm.
See, Papa. See, those are new players, bro. And those are better players. Those are veteran players. So I think you and Omar Kelly and Chris Perkins and all the guys on the beat, y'all need to slow your ass down about Weaver, bro. He just inherited no secondary whatsoever, linebackers that can't cover, and 3 brand new babies at defensive tackle. It's going to take him a half a season to figure shit out, and in the second half of the season, he'll be all right. But if Fangio can't get shit right in the first month of the season with established players all over the place 2 years ago, and it took him a while to get shit going, how do you expect Weaver to make a seamless transition with all the crap that he has on that defense right now and all the issues? I just think people need to slow the brakes down, and let's drop the sensationalism, and let's bring a little bit more level-headedness to football here. These are coaches, these are players, they're new. It takes some time, dude. It's second week. You got to give Weaver time to kind of figure all of this out. And if Fangio can't do it with established players in the first month, I can't expect Weaver to do it with unestablished players or weak players in the first couple of months. You know what I mean? I got to give the man time to figure. Oh, by the way, training camp and the preseason is absolute garbage. It doesn't prepare you for the regular season anymore. They don't even hit enough. So to me, the overreaction of the Weaver stuff, oh, he can't be the head coach because of what's going on with the defense. But what do you want? What do you want? What were you expecting that defense to be? Yeah, they have nice pass rushers, and that's where it ends. What else did you say? What else did anybody say about this defense all offseason? Oh, they got pass rushers. Okay, so what? You still got to stop the run. You still got to cover people. If you can't do that, who gives a shit how you can pass rush? You know what I'm saying? And that's where I think we kind of lost it. Yeah, they got pass rushers, but bro, if your defensive tackles are new and they're young and they're green, they're not going to stop anybody at first. At first, they got to figure shit out. And that's what these three, their heads are spinning and they're all figuring it out. But it's going to take them a little while. We have to show much more patience. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but the only thing is this is also year 2 for him. It was year 1 for Fangio with this system. And he was being outright that preseason saying, no, we still don't have a lot of the pieces that I need. When we thought, okay, he does have the personnel. Whereas Weaver was kind of on board with what he had. He was kind of, now maybe he's being the company man and just backing his head coach and GM. But he seemed more on board with these are the cornerbacks I have. I can make it work with these guys. And then that hasn't proven to be the case early on here. So they're not getting stops. And I'm only saying it as it's just a conversation at least, not that he cannot be the interim head coach, because I still have him as the leader. It's just like, all right, also consider Darrell Bevel a little bit too.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm just not good with the extreme criticism of Weaver.
Not that. No.
When oh my God, he sucks all of a sudden. The guy had no pass rush. By the way, how did the defense start last year? Did it start the way it ended? No. He also started slow last year with his defense, and then he figured out how to play without a pass rush. And without a pass rush, they were top 10 in scoring. So the man's super intelligent on how to figure and adjust. But right now, he's in the middle of figuring out who's who, what can you do, what you can't do. I can't blitz you. I can't use you in space. I got to use you in man. You're good blitzer. You're not. He doesn't know any of this right now. He's figuring all of this shit out in real game time. So it's going to take him several games to get the max out of whatever he has. He did that last year. It started slow and it got better and better and better, just like Fangio, who had much better players, and it started slow and it got better and better.
Which speaks to a bigger issue of that you can't be shuffling guys late in the offseason, going into a training camp and preseason. I mean, the 2 starting cornerbacks the Dolphins have were signed early in training camp in Jack Jones and 2 weeks, a week and a half before the season in Rasul Douglas. Those are your starting cornerbacks right now. It was like last year, it was a secondary that hadn't played because all throughout training camp, different guys had injuries, so they hadn't played together. Same as this secondary. So that speaks to the bigger issue. You can't keep getting away with that every year. And I do got to run soon. Want a prediction real quick?
Go ahead. What do you got?
All right. The one I said was Bills 33, Dolphins 20. I feel like the Dolphins contend a little bit more than people think. Compete a little bit more than people think. And I don't know if that score is enough to get Mike McDaniel axed this early. But if it gets out of hand, then yeah, I would be ready for a coaching change at this point.
Betting expert David Furones says lay the 12. They win by 13. All right. Follow him on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _ catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, thank you for taking the time, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the game tomorrow night. We'll talk late night.
Sounds good.
All right. You got it. There you go. David Furones previewing the matchup between the Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. All right. Have fun editing that one, Sean. Maybe you could put like some kind of like a highlight right in the middle and then it'll just continue. Like something, some kind of a Welton Realm like billboard or something, a swipe. And then we can add the rest or something. I don't know. You're the big cheese there. Anyway, do reach out to our friends at Welton Realm, 954-966-4646. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar and the amazing Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443 for custom printing and embroidery. The Chokers last night. How about that? Inter Miami came through 3-1 against Seattle. Alba scored in the 12th minute. Messi scored in the 41st. Ian Frey. That was sweet and so happy for Ian Frey getting that goal in the 52nd minute. That kid has been through hell and back. He's one of those people that you really admire. Saturday, they're back in action, so we'll see if the old legs can bounce back. They will take on the DC United at Chase Stadium, and that'll be at 7:30. Saturday at 1 o'clock, the University of Miami will host the Gators. They are favored by 7.5, the number 4 team in the country. It is an over and under of 50.5. Gators and the Canes. Gators are plus 250 on the money line, and UM is minus 325 on the money line. Fort Lauderdale United is off this week. They're back in action September 28 at 3 o'clock. They will be on the road to take on Brooklyn. You can catch it on Peacock or on Channel 10. Dolphins tomorrow night, 8:15. Got some news. Ed Oliver and Matt Milano for the Bills have been declared as out. They weren't practicing anyway, so no surprise. But good news for Miami because those are two really, really good players, especially Tua doesn't want to see Matt Milano. Anyway, so Bills are favored by 12. The over and under is 49.5. Dolphins plus 550 on the money line. The Bills minus 850 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. And by the way, we will have a post-game show for, what's it called? For the Canes and the Gators. Okay? We'll be doing it for that game. So we will be here on Saturday for you. We get a Sunday off. Wow, I get to hang out with the wife and the dogs and relax. I'll watch a little football, there's no doubt. But man, it's good. It's good. And I don't have to, I'm not a fantasy player anymore, so I won't even be like tied to it like on that day. I just like watch it casually, go out to eat, relax, enjoy my Sunday. Don't have to be frustrated. Look forward to Weaver coaching. So there you go. By the way, Sean, why don't you put up a poll question there for the folks? Hey, hit the like button. Let's get us to 200. We got 267 watching. Got 138 in likes. You guys can get us to 200. Come on, 200. Who do you want as when they fire Mike McDaniel? Who do you want as the new Dolphins head coach? The interim head coach. Don't get stupid. It stays within the house. Okay? All right. So do you want Anthony Weaver? Do you want Frank Smith? Or do you want Darrell Bevell? Those would be the three choices that you would have, right? And people have said all three of them. People have suggested all three for whatever reasoning or whatever. So put up that poll question there, Sean. Let's see what the folks have to say about it. Which one do you want? Ah, man. So we got Panthers Media Day tomorrow. Good. Looking forward to that. I like it. We've got, the Canes. They are favored by 7.5 over the Gators. And the over and under is 50.5. But there's some hot news going on with the Canes. Yeah. Little hot news. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but apparently they say that Carson Beck may have a new girlfriend. Did you hear about this, Sean? With Carson Beck? Well, I am not well-versed in this area, but some of you may. Do any of you know who Ella West is? She apparently is an adult film star. Ella West, I'm sorry. So apparently she says she could be hooking up with Carson Beck. She was dropping the tea when she was on social media. She said, let's get into this juicy gossip of the week. It looks like porn star Ella West is spilling the tea on her alleged secret hookup with a college superstar, QB Carson Beck. While she hasn't come right out and said it, Ella has been dropping some hints on social media, and fans are going wild to piece it together. The road team scored 3 points all game long, which came in the second quarter. On the other hand, the Canes had 28 points in the first half, scored another 17 to put the game away. This was good for the team to get their minds off the fact that star linebacker Darius Hayes now faces 3 counts of vehicular homicide. I don't know. What the hell is this? What am I reading here? Anyway, here we go. The Hurricanes had a full house at Hard Rock Stadium that included adult star Ella West. I don't know why I was reading that other part of the story. She would take to her Instagram while rocking a Miami Hurricanes Carson Beck jersey. And she was spotted with some tiny black shorts that had her cheeks out. She walked over to a luxury car, wrote on the video, "Guess what player got me this?" Imagine the drama, a rising football star and a popular adult film actress getting together behind closed doors. So there you go. And then there's the video. I don't know. Do we get tagged for these videos when they're on social media also? Sometimes we do. Sean? The poll question is up, by the way, if you want to vote for it right there. But it is, if you want to go to Black Sports Online, you can check it out. Or you can go to her Instagram page, also if you have Instagram. But they have it there too. And so apparently, Ella West and Carson Beck. I don't know. You only live once, right? What the hell? You know, so Carson Beck getting around a little bit. Sean, I sent you something. I don't know if you got it there. But, you know, we talked about how the Hurricanes are hot. The Miami Heat are also hot, right? Because it's the Heat. And we've got training camp coming right around the corner. And, you know, there's going to be some talk about extending Tyler Hero in October. There's a window. Iris talked about it many times. Will the Heat extend them during that window? And some of you are mad, you know, that, hey, you know, why is Tyler Hero still here? Why haven't they traded him? And, you know, I'm one of those guys. They should have traded him. You know what I'm saying? But while they haven't traded him, we do have to thank Katya Elise Hero because she posted some latest pics. She had a new photo shoot. And we want to share them with you because Katya was in, you know, this is what Tyler Hero does in his off time. Share. This is Katya Elise Hero. She looks good after having a kid or two, I think. Have they had one or two? Latest photo shoot from Katya. There's some talent there. Who's got more talent, Katya or Tyler Hero? Just saying. It's a talented family. Kind of talented. Have a seat, Katya. It's probably the... Oh, she pulled it down this time. There you go. All the angles, folks. The latest from Katya Elise Hero. So, I mean, you know, having Tyler Hero around is not all that bad. But just want you to know what he's going home to every night. As they say in Applebee's, he's eating good in the neighborhood. That's all I can say. Don't forget, folks, you can support the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Bag on head. Thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Very nice of you. He says, my life as a Dolphins fan has been like being a castaway on Gilligan's Island. Every time I think I'm rescued, I'm not. The only difference is I don't even have Marianne and Ginger or Katya. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Exactly. I added the Katya part. You know, he probably would have added Katya if he had written it after that. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, my brother. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you for your generosity. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, and we appreciate it as always. Thank you. We don't mind the super chats, but YouTube takes 30% away. So far, 69% of you want Weaver as your head coach. Bevel's in second place at 24%, and Frank Smith is in third place at 8%. Okay. All right. Where are we at here? All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Appreciate it as always. Thank you. Don't forget, folks, we got Gators and Canes on Saturday. You can go to Caneswear and get anything and everything with the Canes logo on it. We're going to be broadcasting live tomorrow at Caneswear at 11 a.m. So we'll be out there 11 to 1, and then we'll come back and do our post-game show, pre- and post-game show for the Dolphins. So we're on 3 times tomorrow, actually, because we'll do the show, and then we'll do a pre, and then we'll do a post. And Friday, I don't know how we're going to handle Friday. I got to talk to Sean because I'm going to be kind of burnt out by the end of Thursday night. Well, I'm going to do something on Friday. There's no doubt. But I don't know if we'll do it right at 10. I don't know. I got to talk to Sean and see what's comfortable for him, if we sleep in a little bit more. Although your ass never really gets to sleep in, right? Don't you wake up? Aren't you forced to wake up like at 5-something every day? Either way. No, not tomorrow? Oh, good. Good for you. I mean, not Friday? Good. We got to talk about Friday. I don't know how we'll do Friday. I don't know how we'll do it, but maybe a little later, buy me a little time, rest the voice, that kind of stuff. Hell, I only wanted to do 2 hours yesterday. I did like 2 hours and 50 minutes. And we don't do the bullshit stuff they do on radio where you talk 6 minutes, 8 minutes, and then you have another 8-minute commercial break. We don't do that, as you can tell. We talk straight all the way through, and maybe a small little commercial break at the top of the hour sometimes. This time we didn't do it at the top of the 11 o'clock hour, but sometimes we'll do it, but a lot of times we don't. By the way, all year cooling, same day service for all year cooling and plumbing. Give them a ring. Tell them that Big O sent you. 888-204-5554 from Homestead to Vero Beach. We've got also an office now in Naples on the West Coast. Over 350,000 satisfied customers, man. Florida's #1 AC and plumbing service is All Year Cooling. They've been around for 52 years. From extended warranties to financing available, same-day installations, free repair estimates, and 7 days a week service. Please call our friends at All Year Cooling, 888-204-5554, and tell them that Big O sent you. Promise you they will take care of you. Good people. What's the market doing right now, man? Market's doing well. It's up 300 points, 301. The S&P's down 5.5. The NASDAQ is up about a point. So not bad. All right. What do we have here? Lenny says Greer has been mediocre, GM at best. He's whiffed on a lot of draft picks and has made some questionable decisions during the tenure. And Spooky says breaking Josh Allen out for Thursday night's game against the unfathomable amount of glaze got in his eye from Tua. All right. Working man, I understand now, Big O, why you had to separate. good-ass kicker, McDaniel. Oh, why you had to separate. I don't know what that means, working man. I'm sorry. That one went over my head. I apologize. Spooky Myers. Josh Allen needs chains on his tires after Tua glazed his tires. Basketball Jones. Weaver hasn't earned an interim head coaching job in Miami after 18 months. And who has? Super Boom Shack. He's got pass rushers dropping into coverage. Does he put pineapple on his pizza? That is a big question because pineapple on the pizza is terrible. That is one of the worst things that anybody should do. Chris Greer should step down to head coach and fix this mess. Okay. Karoon, Katya, bigger than some of the Dolphin wide receivers. Yes. And much better looking than all of them. Oh, that is why you don't want to trade Hero. I'm telling you. I'd have her front and center in every game, bro. You know what I'd have with Katya? I mean, listen, I am a facilitator of fun. You know they have ring ladies. Well, we will now have quarter and halftime ladies. So at the beginning of the game, Katya comes out with a big old card walking around the entire floor in that outfit. Quarter one. And then she sits right down there, half court. She puts on her, her trench coat. It's cold. Then timeout ends, quarter one. Boom. Quarter two, you give her the card. She comes out. And she struts. She struts all around. Round two. We play a little Bob Seger strut. That's round one, quarter one. Quarter two, we play Strutter from Kiss. She comes out right at the end of the second quarter. Halftime. We got to milk this. We're not just going to do it 4 times. Halftime. And then she comes out at the end of halftime, third quarter. No, wait a minute. Hold on. Biamonte. 2 minutos. I love it. I just, overtime. We're all praying for overtime, not because we want to see the game. We just want to see Katya come out and tell us overtime. We want to see double overtime. We want to see triple overtime. We don't give a shit if they all blow out their knees. We want to see 8 overtimes. Katya. There we go. Tell me that I am not the facilitator of fun. Tell me that is not a great idea. Huh? If you want attendance at the Heat to skyrocket and not change, you can have any clowns on the court. It doesn't matter who you have. Nobody's going to care. We're only waiting for timeouts. She comes out. Timeout. Strut. I love it, dude. Tell me that would not be a top-of-the-line feature for a Heat game from here on out. Most of you will pay to go to the Heat game just for that. Can you imagine Katya? And imagine if she sits on the sidelines on that chair the way she sat in that chair. You know how much you can sell the tickets right around there? Like 50,000 a seat. Telling you. Michael McCullough, call me. I got promotions for you, baby. I got promotions for you. That is, see, I got them skills. I know exactly what America wants. I know what a red-blooded man wants at a basketball game, and he wants Katya doing the cards. First ever, right? A basketball girl, not a ring girl, a basketball girl. I know you all are saying that's genius. And that's because it is. It's absolute pure genius on my part. Love it. Anyway, all right. What else do we have here? What do we have going on in the world of sports? So, the world was rocked because Tua was honest. And Tua being honest yesterday about Josh Allen, he has a tendency of maybe being too honest. And we talk about this all the time. Okay? The world now searches for echo chambers in whatever it is that they want to hear. And a lot of times you all don't want to hear the truth either, because sometimes the truth is so hurtful or so raw that you can't handle it, right? And yesterday, Tua gets the podium, and he's asked about Josh Allen and his skill set and all that, and he talks about how Josh can run and can throw the ball and flick it, 80 yards and all that kind of. He does things that he can't. Okay, big deal. Does that mean anything? It means something, because all of a sudden you think that everything would be better if you had him. Okay, but you still haven't won a championship, right? Last time I checked, Tua and Josh Allen have the same amount of championships. None. I get it. Josh is a hell of a player, and he can make a lot of plays. Awesome. But that doesn't mean that is the end-all, be-all, because Montana couldn't do anything that Josh Allen does. Montana didn't have a rocket arm. He wasn't a big athlete. He wasn't an athlete. He was just an accurate passer, and he has 4 titles. Can Drew Brees do anything that Josh Allen does? No. Peyton Manning can't do what Josh Allen does. He can't run around. He doesn't have a gun for an arm. He can't flick it 70 yards like that. Hell, when he won a championship, he couldn't even throw 10 yards. Greasy won a championship where he threw 7 times, and Greasy can't do anything that Josh Allen does. Just like Breeze can't do anything. Nick Foles, he can't do any of that. He can't pass like Tua or Josh Allen. So, and he's not the runner that Josh Allen is. Can he scramble for a couple of yards? Fine, but he's not going to start taking on people and breaking tackles like Josh Allen. Nobody can do that. But Nick Foles has a championship, and he doesn't. Trent Dilfer. About the only thing that Trent Dilfer actually had, he had a decent arm. He actually can throw deep, okay? But he didn't have the accuracy of Tua, and he's not a better quarterback than Tua. And Trent Dilfer, again, is not going to be running around like Josh Allen because he can't do that. Neither Tom Brady actually had a decent arm, not a super gun, but he had decent arm, and he couldn't run around like Josh Allen. Most people can't. Most people don't do those kind of things. But it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with being a team. That's how you win a Super Bowl. There's a lot of great players We had a great passer. Marino couldn't move around like Josh Allen. He can't break tackles and run like a deer. No, he had a gun, but he didn't win shit. So what? Who cares about the skill set? Does it hurt you or something? You can't handle the truth? Are you uncomfortable with that? You know, sometimes there's nothing wrong with being honest. And all he's going to do is get killed if he downplays it and says, oh, you know, he's a decent quarterback and I look forward to playing against him. And then you're, oh, yeah, decent, huh? That guy can do all the things you can't do. That's what you would have done anyway. So he comes out and says, yeah, no, man, he's a phenomenal talent. The guy can run like a deer and throw it through the stadium. Okay. So what? Randall Cunningham could run like a deer and throw it through the stadium, and he didn't win jack shit. Michael Vick can run like a cheetah and throw it through the stadium and didn't win jack shit. So by the way, Lamar Jackson runs like a deer, can throw it through the stadium, hasn't won jack shit. In fact, he chokes all the time in the playoffs. And he has the skill sets that Tua never has. But it's about the team and obviously the player in his case, because he's got to get better as a passer. So it's funny because all that does is expose the people that don't like him anyway. And so you just use this as ammo, but it's not ammo. It's just a fact of life. And it has nothing to do with whether Tua can win a championship or not. Tua will win a championship when he's actually with like a real team that knows how to put together a championship team. This team has not known how to do it for 45 years. Okay, it's not a Tua thing. 45 years. That's why yesterday when I put out the stats on the team, where was it here? I put out the point spread last night, but I also put in a couple of nuggets of, history. And let me read it to you. Sorry. There's a lot of action on my Twitter. Sometimes too much action, but hey, what can I tell you? Here we are. So the Dolphins are, since 2017, we're in 25, okay? 0-6 in Buffalo. 3-14 against the Bills since 2017. So it's not like it's a Tua thing. Even before Tua, they don't win. Because it's a team game. It's not a one-person type of thing. That's why Marino was great, but in the early 90s, he couldn't solve the riddle that was the Buffalo Bills. Why? Because it wasn't because Jim Kelly was a better quarterback than Dan Marino. Jim Kelly was a great quarterback, and so was Dan Marino. But Jim Kelly's team was 100 times better than Dan Marino's team. Dan Marino didn't have his offensive line. Dan Marino didn't have his defensive line. And Dan Marino did not have his running back. Period. The only thing that was even was Kelly and Marino and Shula and Levy. That's the only thing that was even level playing field. The rest was completely uneven. Team game, dude. Team game. So, anyway. James says, what I've noticed is no matter what Tua does, everyone is still going to hate on Tua. They just don't like the guy, Big O. Exactly. That's why after next year, I hope he's gone. I hope he goes to another team. I hope he survives this year and next year physically, and I hope he leaves. I hope he leaves. I really do. I would love to see him go somewhere else and have success. It would be so Dolphins because that's what we did with Drew Brees. Same guy. We had him twice. The football gods gave him to him twice. And we said no. Same guy. He can't do anything at all that Josh Allen does. But he has a championship and Josh Allen doesn't. Can't run like Josh Allen. Can't break tackles like Josh Allen. Can't throw it, to the other side of the stadium like Josh Allen. But he's got a title, and Josh Allen doesn't. I wonder why. So, whatever, dude. It's so Dolphins. The position we're in is so Dolphins. This is who we are, exactly who we are. So, yeah. If they can't figure it out by next year, which they probably won't because it's hard to kind of turn the team around like that quickly, and then he leaves because obviously they're stuck with him through next year, gone. Or trade him in the deadline of next year or something since it's an expiring type of deal that you can get out of or whatever. Do it. Move on. And let somebody else. I hope that happens. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Because if he goes out and has success somewhere else, I'm going to be laughing my ass off. Just like the whole Drew Brees thing. Twice. Same thing. We were handed Drew Brees twice, and we said no. Think about that. We could have gotten Marino and Drew Brees and now Tua if we actually knew what we were doing with Marino, with Drew Brees, or with Tua. But we didn't know what we were doing with Marino. We didn't know to even how to acquire Drew Brees when it was gifted to us twice. And then now we've got another guy and we don't know how to prepare and put together an offense. So it's who we are. It's the clown show that we've been for 45 years, So what are you going to do, man? It is what it is. NorCal says 162 likes for 214 watching. That's pretty dang good, really. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But we could get to 200 if people hit it. We still can get to 200. Okay? It's only 36 people. Think about that. I know you did it already, NorCal. But only 36 people need to hit that like button, and we can hit 200. There's easily 36 people watching right now that have not hit the like button. So, you're right. 164. Well, now 35 people. There we go. It's not bad. It's not bad. Seeing Tua out of bounds in a critical moment of the game is sad. Reminds me of Chris Chandler, but at least the guy had a strong arm. Chris Chandler was also very injury prone too. And what was he going to do? Throw it, and was it a yard difference to throw it out of bounds? It's not a big deal. What'd you want him to do? Take on contact? I don't know. What were you going to do? You didn't complete the pass. It's a terrible offense. Can't do anything about it. Got a terrible coach. Nobody can win with that coach. No quarterback will ever be successful with Mike McDaniel. Any success you have with him is in spite of him. It's not because of him. So, David says Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith were the major difference makers between the Dolphins and the Bills. Oh, dude, that whole linebacking core was amazing. Okay, there were the defensive tackle, Ted Washington was immovable, bro. Immovable. It was so hard. It was one of the few guys that Ruddy could not. Ruddy was a solid center, but he wasn't like, Jim Langer or Stevenson. Those were like all-timers. But he was a solid center. He could, nobody could move Ted Washington, and he struggled with him. Ted was a difference maker. Now, they had a, if you start looking at their lineup, oh, dude, they had studs all over the place. All over the place. That team was loaded, man. That Bills team is one of the greatest NFL teams of all time. All time. I know they didn't win the Super Bowl, but that team is one of the greatest teams of all time. It's better than some Super Bowl winners. It's just they didn't win it. And one of them, I don't even blame the team because the kicker freaking missed it. Norwide. They should have won at least one of them. That's the one that the others they don't deserve to win, but that one they should have won. Stinking kicker lost it for them. Like, that sucks. What else do we have? Those early 90s Bills teams were loaded on both sides of the ball, Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler. Dude, you kidding me? It was I had a lot of I was jealous of how good the Bills teams were. Man of 1,005 host says, I just saw a short clip of many QBs appreciating his greatness. Glad they understand how great a QB Marino was. Oh, yeah, dude. Marino, the poor man, killed himself, dude. We never did anything for him. Stephen Harris, good point, but somehow fans don't understand how football works. Look at the whole Weaver thing. It's ridiculous. The slamming of Weaver because the defense started off bad. That you see when I told Furones. So what happened with the old fart? The old fart was here 2 years ago, and he had way better talent, established veterans. And the first month for Fangio was brutal, dude. People were like, fire Fangio, bring back Josh Boyer and shit. Effing around with it, but it was disgusting. And it took him a little bit to figure his players out, the system, all that. So Weaver doesn't get the same with a much lesser team. Like, I get it, dude. You need clicks. And you guys are baited so easy that you just go and repeat something that makes no sense. Oh, no. Well, how can we want Weaver? Look at how the defense is playing. Oh, I'm sorry. You expected the defense to be dominant? With no secondary, linebackers that can't cover, and 3 brand new, young, green defensive tackles. I'm sorry, but you don't know defense and you don't know football. So if you're complaining about Weaver, maybe you need to learn a little bit about football. Because there is no offseason, as I've told you. So don't ever let a writer tell you, oh, I watch practice. You don't learn shit from practice, dude. Shut the fuck up and get out of here. The watch practice crap. Yeah, sure. You watch practice? Is that what you saw in practice, what we're seeing now? Give me a break. You saw them use Ollie? Are they using him now? Were they using Trader? Are they using him now? It's just enough. Enough already. Preseason and training camp doesn't get you ready for the season. I've told you that over and over. Take it from somebody that actually has done it over and over again, more than most of the people that are on the beat right now. Okay? So I know how it goes on now and how it went on 10, 20, and 30 years ago. Huge difference. Trust me on that. So to think that the defense was going to be lights out like that, that's stupid. It wasn't lights out like that last year. It started off slow, and then it got better because it had deficiencies. We have deficiencies. It takes a man time to figure out, okay, my secondary is not that good. What do I got to do here to adjust? Who can play, who not? You don't do that through the first 2 games. It takes several games. Like I told you, the defense will get better in the second half of the year, but it'll be too late at that point. The offense is what had to carry the defense right now. And you got your coach. By the way, who do you want as interim head coach after they fire McDaniel on Thursday night or Friday morning? They'll fire him. Who do you want to replace McDaniel as interim coach? Weaver, Bevel, or Frank Smith? Vote there. The votes are there. Frank K. Big O, you're full of crap, man. Peyton Manning could do what Allen does. No, he can't. Neither one of them have his arm, and they can't run. So I don't need to read the rest of your comment anymore. On the bad memories, I was at the last AFC Championship game when we hosted the Bills at home, shaking my head, could not stop them. Yeah, that was bad. Why are the Dolphin players playing soft and not physical? That's been 45 years, Shang Tusheng. Marino's teams were soft as hell too. Did you watch the Killer Bees when they ended up going up against Riggins and the boys? They got run over by Riggins. And Bo Camper had an interception in his hand, and the quarterback knocks it out of his hands. So, what do you want, dude? Did you watch the Bills and the Dolphins in the early 90s? Soft. Thurman Thomas running all over them, 300 yards. They've been soft for 45 years. That's all. Jimmy Johnson teams. Did you watch every time they went to the playoffs? Would you like to go over the scores? I mean, we could do that, right? We could go over Dolphin history scores. I can look them up. See how painful it was. Soft, folding like a cheap chair, like one of those thin aluminum chairs. Did you see him against San Francisco when they got up against a real team? Routed. The Dolphins have been a soft-ass team for 45 years. At times, do they have some tough players? Yeah. Collectively, chokers. Soft. Every single time. That's been our problem for 45 years. Every moment, every big stage, everything, choke city, fold city, lose. You win the stuff that doesn't matter. The games that matter, you choke like a dog for 45 years. So, doesn't matter, dude. It's been going on forever. That's who the Dolphins have been. That's not something that just happened a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. It's been going on for 4.5 decades. And we're adding to it here right now. So, blame Shula till now. Shula's the one that started to become a finesse team when his team wasn't that in the 70s. Hitman says, Big O, been a fan of the Dolphins since 72. I'm used to this team being bad, but this team is really bad. We need to reset again, and Tua is gone. I hope so. He won't be gone this year or next year, but at some point by the end of next year or in the offseason. I look forward to him going to another team. Hopefully he goes somewhere where they actually have a coach and a real offense. Yep. David goes, knocked out of Bo Camper's hands in the end zone when the Dolphins had a lead. That play cost the Super Bowl. That's a Dolphin. Bro, that is why we're the Dolphins. Those are the plays that make us who we are. Bo Camper has it right there, and boom. You know, butter hands, and drops it. It's just kind of the way it goes, dude. You know, this is our history. Sammy Smith fumbling into the end zone twice against the Oilers. That's our history, dude. This is who we are. It just absolutely sucks. But yeah, it's just a lot of pain, a lot of bad memories for 45 years. You have your individual stats and some, accomplishments here and there, but collectively, yeah, the 62-7 route of how to end Marino's career. You know what it is to be a Dolphins fan and end Marino's career with 62-7? That's disgusting, dude. These are the things that I just, Anyway, Oscar says, still feeling the sting and reminiscing about the way we were in the 60s and 70s about the original Great Gatsby and the Sundance Kid, R.I.P. Robert Redford. Yeah, amen to that. Amen to that, dude. Yep. Pat in Nashville, the Miami Sharmans, since 1980. Established in 1980, yes. Yeah, that's basically what we've been, the Miami Sharmans, since 1980. Unfortunately, We're not known for the big stage. Every time we're on the big stage, choke city, dude. Choke city. Flores was the perfect coach we needed. The guy that can't build an offensive staff. Stupid shit you guys come up with. I see other teams play physical and with aggression. Then I see Miami and say, exactly. That's kind of the way it's been forever, dude. You know? Just joined. Is this dude sticking up for Greer and still blaming everyone else? Yes. Yes, you can go now. You can go now, JD. Yes. Everyone's to blame except Chris Greer. He's done an exceptional job. I've been talking about that now for nearly 2 hours. You should rewind and listen to it all. I've been discussing over and over all the exceptional things and how everyone else is to blame, including you, JD. In fact, I mentioned that JD Rodriguez is the biggest cancer to the Miami Dolphins. That because since he's been a fan, he's ruined it for Chris Greer and everybody else. You should listen. Yep. Hey, Flo, you still blow. Brian Morgado says, wish we can go back to the throwback logos and uniform. Maybe that would kill the curse. I don't know what it is, bro. I don't know what it is. By the way, you got us up to 192. That's strong. You almost got us to 200. There's 223 watching. 8 more to hit 200. Who's going to be number 200? Come on. Is there any way to know that, Sean? Who hits number 200? No, right? What a shame. That would be cool to know. Who hits number 200? Like that, or 300 or whatever. The post-game show last week, over 1,100 likes. Thank you. That's pretty freaking awesome. Let's see here. All right, what else do we have here? Okay, here we go. All right, what else do we have going on? Big O, you should give JD a blind ass fan alert. No, dude, JD's fine. He has his gripe, and he should have his gripe. He's good with it. I'm fine with it. I can just have fun with it. That's all. John Castillo, he's loving his Dolphins, which he should. Tim Riggins, we got a head coach now, McDipshit, who drops quotes regularly that make the gibberish Cam Cameron shout seem intelligent. Strong by you, Tim. 1,000% right. So we got the 201. Nice. You guys are awesome, dude. Think Blue Dodgers is stoned as F, and he's hitting the like button. He wants you all to know that. Okay. One-Eyed Jack says, the way Hill took himself off the field when Tua overthrew him on Sunday, it really pissed me off. I mean, but One-Eyed Jack, I remember that Clayton and Duper used to do that all the time. All the time. They just like, I'm out. And Shula was like, yeah, no problem. Go get rest. What are you going to do, bro? That's the environment that soft-ass coach has created. Like, why would you need to get off the field, bro? Get your ass back in the lineup. You're not in great condition. You're not. You and Waddle need too much rest. That is off. Sorry. By the way, I did not mention, and I forgot to mention, because I was happy on Saturday night with Terrence Crawford winning. But I wanted to mention something because I remember I picked Canelo because I thought the bigger guy and Terrence moving up, it would be too much. And it wasn't. He was dominant. He reminded me of Sugar Hagler, except it was even more impressive. Because Sugar Ray beat Hagler, but not by much, and he kind of boxed him and dodged him and all that, and he did enough to kind of score points to win. You know what I mean? But this was like he clowned Canelo. And this is why one of the things I tweeted out after that fight, when I look at Canelo, I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, whoa, that guy was a hell of a fighter. When I look at Terrence Crawford, I'm going to say Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson. When I start saying Floyd Mayweather, when I start saying Terrence Crawford, I start talking about one of the true all-time greats. You know, there's some real, like, I never put Larry Holmes in the Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis class and all that. No, I'm not putting Lennox Lewis in the Muhammad Ali and Joe Louis. No, I'm not. Those are really good heavyweights, but they're not there. Okay? That's the way I'm going to look at Canelo. He's really, really good, but I don't know if I'm going to put him with Marvin Hagler. You know, I don't know yet. I don't know if I'm going to do that. You know, really, really good, but I'm not going to put him where Terrence Crawford is. And that, to me, is what I saw on Saturday night. That kind of, I'm happy for Terrence because I'm a huge Terrence fan. I was really going for him. I was afraid for him in this fight because obviously moving up all that weight. But wow, dude, he was, and I saw Sugar Ray and Hagler, so I witnessed that live myself. So I've lived that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you idiots that were trying to compare Tyreek and Waddle to the Marx Brothers, and I lost my shit. Why? Because most of you that dared to compare Reek and Waddle, you never really watched. And watching a highlight or reading some stats, get the hell out of my face with that. Okay? If you didn't live it and really watch it, you don't know like those of us that did. You know what I mean? Same thing here. Same thing here. And I was impressed when Sugar did that to Marvin, but he did it in a really intelligent way where he learned from the Manos de Piedra with the Roberto Duran first fight where he took a beating because he was an idiot and he stood in the middle of the ring thinking he could beat Duran in his own game, which was stupid. Okay. And so he wasn't going to do that with Hagler. But what Crawford did, he punked him, bro. He punked him. And I'm glad, because if there was any doubt that somebody would ever say that Terrence Crawford doesn't belong with the elite of the elite, now that's it. It's over. It's over. It's over. And I've been watching boxing since I was a kid. This guy is as good as it gets, period. End of story. He is awesome, dude. Impeccable. That's the way I look at it. Just my 2 cents on that. Let's see. Back to football, I'm sure. Had it been Tannenbaum or Ireland, he would have ripped him into shreds. Greer has been Big O's person, friend, or something. All these years going to Indianapolis for the combine, he probably got to know Chris. That's it, dude. That's it. We hang out all the time. We're buds. You busted me, John. Stephen Harris, big O question. Do you think Bo Camper should make Butterfinger commercials? Yes, he should. A Butterfinger commercial. He should have buttermilk pancakes there at the Bo Campers. Everything should be buttered. Yeah. I like it. It's a good idea on your part. True FinFest says, with all due respect, Larry Holmes was undefeated for 7 years as the heavyweight champion. He was about to tie Marciano's 49-0 record. But that heavyweight class was mediocre, True FinFan. He feasted. It's like Lennox Lewis now. He feasted on a week when he was champion. I'm not impressed with these heavyweights. No. A Muhammad Ali in his prime, I don't put Holmes in his level. I just don't. Holmes' jab was phenomenal. I mean, he was Muhammad Ali's workout partner. He was the sparring partner for Muhammad Ali. You know what I'm saying? So But by the time he fought Muhammad Ali was old. And unfortunately, I truly believe that Muhammad Ali got the Parkinson's from all those fights at the end. And taking hits for no reason at all, proving that he could take hits and then knock you out, and that rope-a-dope shit. And oh man, that was. I think we would have still had a charismatic Muhammad Ali at this age. Whatever he would have been at this age, he probably would have still been a beaming light. I think his tactic at the end was terrible. But I'm sorry, that era that Larry Holmes took advantage of, I have no respect for that era, because then once Tyson came in, it was over, and so I give Holmes a lot of credit, very good fighter. Don't put him in that level of the Ali class. I don't put him at the elite of the elites, the top of the top. I don't put him there. I put him at the level under than that. That's just my opinion. It's my opinion. You know what I mean? But yeah. Oh, when you talk about freaks, you got to put Mark Clayton. Oh my God, yes. Oh yes. Mark Clayton was 5'9", 5'10", could squat 500 pounds, could soar like 40 inches in the air, dunk. He could tomahawk dunk. Mark Clayton. Tomahawk dunk. Mark Clayton was, and he had vice grips for hands. He had body control that was sick. Mark Clayton was second to Jerry Rice. When Clayton was in his heyday, he was second to Jerry Rice in my book. Jerry's the best, will always be the best. I've never seen anybody like Jerry. But while Jerry was Jerry and Mark had it going on for a few years, he was the second best receiver in the league in my eyes. Mark Clayton was, oh my God. Like Duper was awesome, but Clayton was another level awesome because he brought an athleticism to it that was crazy, dude. Crazy. Yeah. Tough son of a bitch. True FinFan says, Ali absolutely got Parkinson's from those last fights. We will disagree on the Larry Holmes topic, though. That's fine. That's fine. A lot of people hold Holmes in that level. I don't. I put him just under. Yes, Andres, we know that boxing is dead, bro. Thanks for the breaker there. Appreciate it. Thank you, my brother. It doesn't take away from the fact that Terrence Crawford is a hell of a fighter and one of the greatest fighters. But hey, you got your shot in there. Do you feel better, Andres? Do you feel good that you got in there? Boxing's dead. Next thing you'll tell me, Highlight's dead. Dog racing is dead. Greyhound racing. I mean, I don't know. You might fill me in on some stuff. Hooters football doesn't exist anymore. Did you know that, Sean, that Hooters football doesn't exist anymore? Well, there you go. I got you, bro. I got you. You got your shot in there. Boxing is dead. So stop talking about it, oh. I hate it. It's bothering me. How the hell is he not in the Hall of Fame? Really? Larry Holmes is not in the Hall of Fame? I didn't know that. Is that who you're talking? Oh, you're talking about Clayton. You got to be talking about Clayton because Larry is. You're talking about Clayton. Yeah, Clayton and Duper should both be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, they didn't win anything. Like Swan, Lynn Swan has half the stats of Mark Clayton, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Why? Because he was part of a Super Bowl team and was able to make big catches in big moments, which Mark Clayton would have been there, except his team wasn't good enough to be in those moments. You know, it's not his fault. It's not like he wasn't trying, you know. Corso, thank you for the love on the super chat. Is Glenn Miller still missing? Is Walt Disney still frozen underneath the Magic Kingdom? Does Joan really love Chachi? Shamazo, Hofsendefser Incorporated, whatever, yeah. Is Laverne and Shirley still on? Is Laverne still with us? Inquiring minds want to know. Oh my God, it's a Frankie Fresco appearance. Holmes beat Mercer and Tim Witherspoon. Okay. Good. Neither one is considered a great fighter. Those are decent fighters. It's Holmes took advantage of a really weak ass heavyweight. At that point, the heavyweight division just started to go to hell. And then Mike Tyson came in and he was great, but he took advantage of, there was nobody there to really challenge him until later on, until you got to Holyfield. That's it, because he was intelligent and he could box, But outside of that, Tyson did the same thing Holmes did, except Tyson is an absolute freak of all freaks. Tyson's Tyson. Big O, a lot of these Mexican fighters are way overrated. Even Oscar De La Hoya, who fought the best, faded towards the end. Let's see what Benavidez does. Mitch Green knocked out Tyson. Mitch Blood Green. No, he didn't. Mitch Green talked shit, and then I think Tyson killed him. And then he also killed him at a clothing store in the middle of the night, right? Wasn't it like that? I don't think it was Mitch Blood Green that beat him. Mitch Blood Green lost. I think you're thinking of Buster Douglas. He lost to Douglas. He lost to Holyfield. But I don't think it was Mitch Blood Green that beat him. Mitch Blood Green took a beating outside a New York clothing store at like 1 a.m. or some shit like that. Go look it up. Look it up for me, Sean. Tyson beats up Mitch Blood Green. And I bet you it was at a clothing store in New York City. And it was like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. or something like that. A clothing store open at that time. It wasn't a bar. It was a clothing store. I'm pretty sure of that. Yeah. Yeah, and Lennox Lewis beat Tyson. Yeah, again, Tyson, towards the end, he was just, the cocaine and everything else. He just wasn't. Tyson got bored with beating the crap out of people. Joseph says Mitch Blood Green went 10 rounds with Tyson and lost. Yeah, I think he took a beating. But I also think he beat him in a clothing store in the middle of the night or something like. I swear to God, I remember something like that. I don't know if Sean will be able to find that story, but I remember a story of Mike Tyson beating up Mitch Blood Green, and it was late night at a clothing store, and we were like, how's a clothing store open like at 1 or 2 in the morning or something like that? Or it's just something crazy. I think it was. I don't know why I remember it was a clothing store. I don't know why I'm thinking that. But yeah, something like that. Anyway, Juan Rosa says, good afternoon. Missed your show yesterday, but rewind. Congress reveals truth about UFOs live on YouTube. Waste of time. Was hoping 2 Central live. I'll do my best to not miss your show again. So disappointed. Oh, relax, Juan. I appreciate you, my brother. It's just, it is what it is, bro. You got a life. You got to do some stuff. It happens. I'm glad you're here and you're catching up, and hit the like button. Yes, sir.
All right. So I'm piecing this together. It looks like Green was furious at Tyson, having claimed the promoter Don King underpaid him, and he was desiring a second lucrative fight. But also, apparently, Green was part of a gang, a New York gang, and believed Tyson stepping onto his turf, which was in Harlem, at 4 o'clock in the morning, to buy a $850 white leather jacket with "Don't Believe the Hype," the title of Public Enemy track.
Do I remember on the back. Do I remember shit or what, dude? 4 o'clock in the morning. A goddamn clothing store open at 4 o'clock. Go ahead, finish. Go ahead. What else?
No, that was pretty much it. They got into the fight. Cops, He beat him up at 4 a.m. He thought he killed him, but they said cops arrived at 5 a.m. He had some lacerations on his face, and he's just beat up.
There were some pictures of it too. There were some pictures of it. I remember they had pictures of Mitch Blood Green, Bloody, back in the day. Yeah, I remember that. Boy, do I remember it like just crap, dude. Just absolute crap. Why would I remember stupid stuff like that? It's just insane. But yeah, Mitch Blood Green, what a bum. Anyway, what else do we have? Thank you, Oscar. Appreciate you. Pat in Nashville had the there, Harlem. Tyson needs to be hired by Fish to be physical, aggressive mentor. By the way, think about this. Do you know what kind of an insane human being you must be to, in a ring, at least there's some controlled, there's a referee, people can separate and all that. You're in the street and you're pissing off Mike Tyson and there's nobody around to stop you. That's not very smart. It's just not very smart. In an uncontrolled atmosphere, I'm going to piss off Mike Tyson? No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. There we go. Thank you, Pat in Nashville. Mitch Blood Green after that fight. There you go. As a remember. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate you, my brother. You're the man. Let's see. Who, in your opinion, has been the best Mexican boxer of all time? I got Chavez for sure. Over Canelo for sure. For sure. Yes. Julio Cesar Chavez. Yes, dude, for sure. Canelo's awesome, but I don't put him at the level of Chavez, dude. He's like the very, very good fighter, but I don't put him at that Chavez level. I don't put him at the Roberto Duran level. I just don't. I don't. Just under. Maybe it's because I don't know if it's this era I don't have as much respect for or something, but he's really, really good. But yeah, no. Some of those guys are just at another level, and Julio Cesar Chavez is, wow, dude. You're talking about impeccable. You're talking about the Muhammad Ali in his weight class. He's like that kind of dude. So yeah, definitely. Let's see, what else do we have? Big O, where's the laser eye spot? I don't want to buy my contacts anymore. There it is. Thank you very much, Laser Eye Center of Miami. All right. Go see them. They'll take care of you. Dr. Lascano, he is absolutely awesome. Ask for Dr. Lascano, okay? I've known him for a long time, and my wife, my daughter, my mother-in-law, myself, and we've all taken care of our eyes there. And different conditions, by the way. Like the old lady has a completely different condition than we do. My wife has like these sloped eyes compared to mine. So like everybody's different, dude. And he's been able to handle all those. So Laser Eye Center of Miami, go see Dr. Lascano. Please mention us too. Whenever you go to any of our sponsors, please mention us, man. It's very important that you mention us. Salvador Sanchez, the go-to Mexican, look him up. Oh, I know Salvador Sanchez, bro. Of course I know Salvador Sanchez. He was amazing. My dad loved to watch Salvador Sanchez. Yeah, definitely. For sure. So, yes. Oh, man, we probably lost that guy. You guys mentioned a little too much boxing for that guy. Poor guy. Who is it, Orozco? Man, poor guy. Because boxing's dead, guys. I don't know if you know that, but that news was broken today on the show. Mr. Orozco broke it for us. That boxing is dead. Sean was arguing it all morning long until Mr. Orozco came in, and he was like, okay, well. Bag on head, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. I mean, on the on the Venmo, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can use the QR codes that Sean will show you sometimes. Do you remember when Zonka used to take himself out? Oh, wait, he might have run over Pat Fisher in the Super Bowl when he had a broken arm. It's just, it's a different world, isn't it? It is a different world. Can you imagine telling Shula you want out? No. And I don't see like players in other teams, like key players, asking out also. I'm sorry, I don't see that either. So I really can't understand that, to be quite honest. All right. True Fin goes, we talk about everything on this show. That's the beauty. Yes, it is. Frankie says, not going to lie, Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez, all really good fighters back in the day. Yes, dude, definitely. Yep. What else? Yeah, we saw Ricky Hatton passing away. Yeah, we saw it. Sad. Metaplanet, by the way, raised another $1.4 billion to buy a little Bitcoin. How about that? And we are right now stuck around 115,000 with Bitcoin, 115,600 right now. And rate cuts expecting today. Have they announced it yet? Have you seen it, Sean? Have they announced that they're officially cutting 0.25%? I'm sure it'll be a quarter. They won't do 0.5%. Some people are talking about 0.5%. They won't do that. They're going to gradually cut. And if they do 0.5%, it also kind of sends like things are really bad, even though they are. But we'll see how it goes. I just hope things can get better, man. I don't know if they will, folks, but let's hope so. All right, let me get to a little music, all right? Let's start off with musicians born on September 17th. All right. American singer, songwriter, composer, and record producer Anastasia, born in 1968. Fee Waybill, lead singer from The Tubes. He's an excellent frontman, by the way. Born in 1950. Happy birthday to Fee. Roger Nichols, composer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, co-wrote many songs with the Carpenters. We've Only Just Begun. Also wrote Out in the Country for Three Dog Night, born in 1940. Lamonte McLemore, vocalist with The Fifth Dimension, born in 1939. Little Aquarius. Hank Williams, Sr., born Hiram King Williams, born in 1923. We lost him in 1953. Now we go with other famous people celebrating birthdays today. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means sadly they have passed away. Pope John Paul V, or Pope Paul V, born in 1552. Entrepreneur J. Willard Marriott, born in 1900. Supreme Court Justice Warren Burger, born in 1907. Hall of Famer George Blanda, born in 1927. Actor Roddy McDowell, born in 1928. Planet of the Apes. Sterling Moss, International Motorsports Hall of Fame member, born in 1929. Astronaut Thomas Stafford, born in 1930. Actress Anne Bancroft, born in 1931. Tennis Hall of Famer Maureen Connolly, born in 1934. Baseball Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda, born in 1937. Supreme Court Justice David Souter, born in 1939. Basketball Hall of Famer Phil Jackson, born in 45, still with us. He is 80 years old today. Actor John Ritter, born in 1948. TV personality Elvira, giddy up, those gonzos, oh mama. Born in 1951. She is 74 today. Elvira still with us. Actress, comedian Rita Rudner, born in 53. She is 72. Actor Kyle Chandler, born in 65. He is 60. Musician Doug E. Fresh, born in my year, 66. He is 59. Musician Vin Rock with Naughty by Nature, born in 70. He is 50. Actor Nick Cordero, born in 1978. Jesus, no longer with us. Wow. NHL player Alex Ovechkin, born in 85. He is 40. Actor Danny Ramirez, born in 92. He's 33. Patrick Mahomes, born in 95. He's 30. And that is it. Extensive list today. Sean Stanley, do we have wrestlers born on this date?
Yes, sir, we do. Audrey Marie is 36. The Goon, Bill Irwin, is 71. Daniel Garcia, he is 27. The Loudmouth, Jim Cornette, he turned 64. And somebody that I will never mess with, Masahiro Chono, he turned 62 on September 17th, 2025.
All right. Let's move over to music history. What happened today in music history? Let's start off in 67. On this date, The Doors appeared on Ed Sullivan's Sunday night variety program. Sullivan asked Jim Morrison to omit and alter the lyric, "Girl, we couldn't get much higher, light my fire." Morrison, to his credit, ignored Sullivan's request, and as a result, however, The Doors were never invited back to the program. Have you ever watched the movie The Doors with Val Kilmer, who we just lost? Who did a great job, by the way, playing Jim Morrison. That whole scene plays out. I forgot what they wanted him to say. We couldn't try or something. And in fact, the whole higher thing, he put an emphasis on the word and everything. So, yeah, it was kind of a trip. Anyway, we move on. In 78, Queen's video and their single Bicycle Race was filmed at Wimbledon Stadium in South London. It featured 65 naked female professional models racing around the stadium's track on bicycles that had been rented for the film shoot. When the rental company found out how the bicycles had been used, it reportedly demanded payment to replace all of the bicycle seats. Why? Because naked women were on it. In today's world, you know what they do, right, Sean? They show that the video was filmed, all naked women on these bikes, right? Then you put the seats on for sale, and those sickos that like smelling everything, buy it. And you make 10 times the amount of money that the bike is worth because you can charge those sickos that money. People are selling their bathwater. What are we talking about here, dude? In 82, Simple Minds released their 5th studio album, New Gold Dream, and it features the singles Promised You a Miracle, Glittering Prize, Somewhere, Someone, Somewhere, and Sometime, which is a really good song, and New Gold Dream. In 82, seminal double album The Wall makes its big screen and feature-length musical. Few expected the sprawling concept album to be turned into a featured film, but the band's celluloid collaboration with director Alan Parker and animated Gerald Scarfe becomes a surprise box office hit and a cult classic. That movie is a trip. Let's see. In 91, the late Ozzy Osbourne released his sixth studio album, No More Tears. It features the single No More Tears, Mama, I'm Coming Home, and Time After Time, and Road to Nowhere. In 96, Tool released their second album, Anima. It opened up at number 2 in the U.S. and went on to sell more than 3 million copies. Let's see. Who else? In 2011, Adele went to number 1 on the U.S. singles charts with Someone Like You. In 2012, The Killers released their fourth studio album, Battle Born. It features the singles Runaway, Miss Atomic Bomb, and Here With Me. Let's see. Who else? In 2019, R&B musician Andre Williams died in Chicago, Illinois at the age of 82. And in 2021, Lil Nas X released his debut studio album, Montero, and it featured the song Montero, Sun Goes Down, Industry Baby, That's What I Want, and Lost in the Citadel. Let me see if there's any birthdays that are on this list that weren't on the others. BB Winans, R&B and gospel singer, 63 today. Former Panic at the Disco bassist Jonathan Jacob Walker is 40 today, and that is it for music history. There you go. We got it. Thank you. Big O, did you hear that Jimmy Kimmel spoke about Charlie Kirk and now people want him fired as well? What did he say? Why would they want him fired? You can talk about Charlie Kirk. Did he say that he was like happy that he got? I doubt he said that. See, you've got no context whatsoever. He talked about him. What does that mean? Doesn't mean a damn thing, Frankie. So, got to be more specific, my brother. Pepino Cuevas was a hell of a fighter, Oscar. I know him too. I'm old, bro. I've been around. Was the name Simple Minds inspired while watching Mike McDaniel coach? Boom. I like that. All right. What else do we have going on? Any breaking news, Sean, just in case? So I haven't seen anything earth-shattering. If you guys got any final questions while we wrap it up here on the program, send them in. Nope, I don't see anything. Fields ruled out versus the Bucks. They'll start Tyrod Taylor. Nobody has worse luck than Tyrod Taylor. Poor kid. And he's a phenomenal young man. By the way, phenomenal. So, let's see. What else do we have? Big O, I am going to call them, but do you know it? Welton Rayom practices law in Georgia. Of course, I'm going to mention you. You can, I don't know if they can. They might be licensed there. They might be able to lead you to somebody they know in Georgia that might help you. So call them anyway, because they're really smart and very well connected. Very well connected. So check it out. Check it out, Ming. Okay? Check it out. Let's see. What else do we have? Frankie, you got something? Jimmy Kimmel claims we hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize the kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing. Yeah, that's so what? That's all they do is one side blames the other and the other blames the other. Big deal. Whatever, bro. You know, it's did you see Donald Trump Jr.? What happened when the Pelosi old man got hammered? He goes, "Oh, I've got my new Halloween costume." And he put a mask and a hammer. Dude, it's garbage on the left and garbage on the right. That's all it is. So wasn't one of the Trump shooters a Republican, a guy that voted for Trump? They're all wackos, bro. Who cares if they're left or right? Fry them all. Mangione, all of them. Just fry them all. That's it. It's open, shut cases. That's what I would do. But I'm an American. I don't get hung up with left and right bullshit because I see the same stuff that goes on with the left goes on with the right because they're both the same garbage. But I don't get caught up in that. I just trash both because I see both of them for what they are. So I don't get caught up in getting played by one side or the other as they make most of you tools out there for their side when they both do the same kind of damage to you. So it's no different, man. No different. People that make fun of the death of Charlie Kirk are the same people that make fun of whatever happened to Pelosi, and they'll fly the flags half staff for Charlie, but they won't fly it for the Minnesota senator and her husband, right, or congresswoman and her husband that were killed. It's all political BS that goes on back and forth. Whatever. So that's all it is. But the best thing you do is don't get caught up with either side because they're just playing you. That's all they're doing. Meanwhile, they're all getting rich behind the scenes. Doesn't matter if it's the Trumps or the Pelosi's. Doesn't really matter. They're all getting rich. You know what I mean? So, that's what I would tell you. Don't fall for that stuff. Avoid both of them. And get Bitcoin. Protect yourself from all of them. Not that that's financial advice or that I'm a financial advisor. All right, we thank David Furones. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We thank all of you that tuned in. If you sent in a super chat, thank you very much. Those of you that reached out on Venmo and Cash App, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you immensely. As always, visit our amazing sponsors, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Toyota of Hollywood, Subaru of Pembroke Pines, Sloman's, All Your Cooling, Hialeah Park, BigCheeseMiami.com, Moody's Dental, just so many great sponsors of ours, R&M Contractors, Fort Lauderdale United, EJD Construction, just goes on and on and on. And without them, we would be lost. So we appreciate it. Thank you all out there. We will see you tomorrow morning. It'll be at 11 a.m. We'll be live at Canesware. We'll do a show there for 2 hours, and that will be tight. 2 hours, and I'm done because I've got to be back later on for the pre- and post-game show, so got to take care of the boys. I'm going to go rest. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.